Hello again, it's Peter Ratcliffe here, host of the Sphere IT podcast, broadcasting from Insurtech Insights in London, March 2024. As you know, we've been here for a few days now, meeting loads of wonderful people, having conversations around innovation and change within the industry. And today I have Paul Baker from a very interesting little business that he's going to be talking about. We met yesterday, we had some really good conversations, really looking forward to sort of unpacking this with you, so welcome. So Paul, tell me a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I guess over 25 years of working within talent acquisition, talent consultancy and strategy, working with both global business and SMEs. And now I guess for the last 8 to 10 years, been focused around disrupting the industry. So essentially, like the insurance sector, recruitment, search has been pretty much the same as it has been forever. All the cards are held by the recruiters or the search businesses. They talk about partnerships, but there's very little real partnership.
Yeah.
And so we created a model to primarily focus on that startup, scale-up community within the Insurtech space to essentially outsource their talent acquisition in a cost-effective, fast, and technology-enabled way. And that's what we're doing now. And, you know, with a big focus around ESG, impact, sustainability, and inclusion.
Sure. That was an area that we were talking about yesterday. But going back to the sort of recruitment talent space, obviously, as you know, I had a bit of experience in it myself. I think it's almost been self-disruptive in the sense that social media's proliferated. At some point in time, everyone became a recruiter. You're able to refer your friend. And so those specialised services become less valuable, especially at the more, again, commoditised roles and levels. So this disruption is required and needed, but it's not just for the benefit of your customers, it's because the world's changed. And I think it's really good that you've managed to sort of find something unique and well done to you. I still love the recruitment industry. I think it's a great space.
Yeah, me too.
So on the ESG side, and tell us a little bit about what you're trying to achieve there and why it matters to you personally.
Yeah. So if I take it back a stage, so initially when you start to talk as a recruitment business or a search business, when you start to talk to customers about all the value and the impact that you make, it's very difficult to do that without it sounding like a sales pitch. So if we go back to pre-COVID, we were always doing a lot of good in, local communities, charitable events and society, and looking at how we can use our business as a force for good. We realised that the B Corp movement was, it spoke to us. So we went through the process, became a certified B Corporation. And if you don't know what that is, definitely worth looking it up. But it was a movement that started in the US in about 2015, came to the UK in about 2016. And it's a commitment to use your business as a force for good.
Right, okay.
So you're purpose-driven as opposed to commercially cash-driven. Because ultimately, if you focus on the right things, the commercial elements are there anyway. And then it was really around, look, we've got the validation, external validation that we're doing good. So how can we really get under the skin and build true partnerships with organisations that are addressing the challenges that they're facing without just being another recruiter that's dictating rates, dictating workflows, but not really offering anything different. And that was really sort of the catalyst for change.
Sure. So again, the systematic change in the way people feel about diversity, mental health, well-being, all of those things sort of fed into what you were doing. You built a product that you take into market, and it's really beneficial. So there's customers out there that they're looking to do exactly what with your product to enhance what in their business.
So often the complexity is that, and especially right now in the marketplace, you've got complexity around businesses being time poor. So when you come to them with a new proposition around, look, have you thought about all this other amazing stuff that's really, valid, ethical, good values, good behaviors? It's like, well, we haven't got the time, we're just busy trying to get our business running. But the reality is that you don't actually have to do anything different. You can incorporate these into your workflows in your business so you make an impact that's positive, still doing exactly the same thing. And that was why we decided to actually embed it within our workflows. So by being a certified B corporation, by being CSR Gold, by signing up to 1% for the planet, by being Planet Mark certified carbon neutral business. What we then do is everything that we do on behalf of the clients has that impact. So we do it for them now.
Yeah.
So if you hire
sense.
from us, we offset the carbon footprint. We then take a proportion of that fee and we, donate elements of it to good causes. And at the end of the year, we produce an impact report, tell you all the great stuff you've done. And those businesses are like, well, we're doing exactly what we've done with everyone else, but hold on a second, we're getting this value add now.
Value add, yeah.
Which, really sort of underpins what customers are looking at and big corporations are looking at.
Yeah, I think so. I think the ESG in particular, carbon footprints, all this sort of stuff, I've seen in my day-to-day role where, contractually, it's actually becoming a thing when you have relationship with customers that you have to be able to prove that you have these credentials. And so it's definitely the right place to go. And I've never heard about it being applied the way you're applying it. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
On the other side of things, at Vertislab, where I work, we're looking at implementing more green foundational software development methods. It's an evolving space. There's a whole community growing called the Green Software Foundation that we're going to become a member of, that we're releasing a lot of content around, which, again, I think we're playing to what you're saying. It's like a lot of our customers are doing this or need to start doing this. We need to be ahead of the game in everything that we're doing. So, kudos to you.
Yeah, and also, so look, we've got the Disrupt recruitment search RPO business with all the values added into that in the workflow. But on the side of that, we also create another business called Includability, which Includability is a UK standard, so a kite mark essentially for inclusive and sustainable businesses. And what we wanted to do with that was actually not just technology, but bring in cross-industry collaboration from, the community now is Premiership football clubs, major charities, retail businesses, tech businesses, sole traders, all coming together. And instead of them being siloed and only networking and sharing best practice with themselves, they now do it as a collaborative community. And so that then, that works really well in terms of supporting organisations to be better. We've got an accreditation that walks them through and recertifies them every 2 years. But then when they then come back to the talent piece around how do we find good people, we've then got a sustainable and inclusive workflow to add into that.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. A final thought to make it more insurance sort of focused.
Yeah.
I have a view which has developed over time that there's a brain drain in the insurance market. We're kind of being rescued by this emergence of Insurtech. And a couple of conversations I've had last couple of days have been, there's a real synergy between technology and the way policies are being written and underwritten. That's great.
Yeah, for sure.
But these core carriers that are effectively being left a little bit behind, that have always been, quite powerful entities, they're not as attractive anymore.
Yeah.
When you're recruiting for insurers, what are you hearing, or what do you think they need to do to become better at getting that talent?
So there's a couple of things. One is that everybody's talking about the complexity. How do we access great talent? But they continue with the same rhetoric of, we always want people with experience and we're always going to hire from within our own ecosystem. So for as long as you hunt within your own field and everybody's looking for the same people, there's a main challenge there in the fact that you're never going to get anything new coming in. So you need to be brave and look externally to the talent. What do you need in order to deliver the skill? So, and where can we find that? So we hire based on skills, not on industry.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you've got the other challenges around, when you look at the industry as a whole, people are talking about the future workforce. How are we going to create our future workforce? How are we going to attract more people into the industry? Well, first of all, we need to stop people leaving the industry, because you're losing experienced talent by not changing with the times. But also, you've got to be... Emerging talent has to look at an industry and look at the leadership and see themselves. They need to see that they can have a possibility. They need people that look like them. And we're not talking box-ticking exercises. We're talking really highly experienced talent. And instead of just hiring the chairman's friend's son into a graduate role, let's look at where we can really find awesome talent that's driven, focused, that wants to learn. Let's support them with the learning, and let's bring that, leadership of the future through, and let's give them the opportunity to succeed. And I think, when you balance two, you look at yourself internally, you change for the better, you think about what's important, what do people want, and then you focus on how do we then continue that funnel through, good talent coming in. And I think if you can master those, then your long-term sustainability as an organization is a lot safer.
Yeah. I mean, the Gen Z now, flexibility in the workplace, they're eco-conscious, they're flexibility conscious. And, I think that needs to be taken into consideration when you're trying to get the best of the best into your business. Like you rightly said, they'll be looking at these businesses going, do you reflect what I need? So there's a lot of inward thinking, inward change that needs to happen, which actually works really well with innovation. Yeah. Because you can't innovate if you're just stuck in one place.
No.
So great. Look, Paul, real pleasure to meet you.
Yeah,
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you for
everybody.
your time. All right.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers, mate.